It's Week 7 of the 2024 season, and we'll get a look here at Derrick Henry, your standard at running back this season, pacing the league in rushing. It's the Ravens and the Buccaneers on Monday night.
We've all waited long enough to get here. It's time for some football as we welcome you to the NFL on EA Sports. Thanks for joining us, everyone. With my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. And like so many matchups in the NFL, Brock, our focus goes right to the quarterbacks in this one. Both of these guys, players who've been around the league now for some time, they definitely established themselves as veterans who know how to win football games.
Yeah, I think the word of the day, Kate, is definitely experience. Two guys who've been through the season several times over, have seen a lot at this point in their career, and been through quite a bit on the field. All that experience is stored up there right between the ears. And the one who is more skilled at leveraging that experience, more than likely is going to come away with the win.
Ball is teed up. Chase McLaughlin to do the honors. And we're off from Tampa. On the return, here comes Justice Hill. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. Oh, hang on there. Hang on a moment. Looks like we've got an injured player on the kick return. They're going to check on him now. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. The drive begins with Henry. And that was an incredible effort just to make it back to the line. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
Well, one defender failed, while his buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. They send a tight end in motion. Play action now with Jackson. His pass is complete. That's Zay Flowers. And they can't jump to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 22 on that one. And that'll be 1st down, Baltimore.
Part of the reason I leave you pregame, Kate, and get down to that field and watch these guys throw and catch is I want to see their timing. I want to see their anticipation. That is picture perfect right there. A crossing route thrown that quickly tells me these two are on the same page.
Out of the gun, Henry. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. We get a look at his rushing numbers from last week here, what he was able to do in support of that win. Second and 6 coming up here. Running once more with Henry. And he takes it past midfield and starts the drive into Buccaneers territory. Give him 2 on the run. That's going to set him up with 3rd and 4. Now here's Lamar. That's incomplete left side.
I think I could see his eyes from the booth. He was envisioning the return and simply dropped it. You got to secure the pick before anything else.
Third down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on 4th. Back to throw. Here's Jackson. He can't get away. They get the sack and force a turnover on downs.
Coach is challenging to get the defense off the field with a stop. Rose to the challenge and delivered on that one, really overwhelming the line of scrimmage.
So here now are the Buccaneers on offense to begin their first drive. They're led out by the 7th-year pro, comeback player of the year contender last season in Baker Mayfield.
Your goal as a quarterback going into each and every season is to have a touchdown to interception ratio, Kate, of somewhere 2 to 3, and if you're great, 4 to 1. Anytime it's upside down like his outing last week with 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, you know that's not sustainable. It can lead to an awful lot of L's.
Now after the run, we see some trainers headed out for an injured player who was shaken up. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. From the gun, Mayfield. That's to his back. Here's Rachaad White. And a nice gain here, but it stopped short of the first.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
3rd down run from White. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
They'll run for it with White. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. And they get to him just in time. That's a tackle for the stand and a turnover on downs.
You know, Kate, it's almost like the defense was in the offensive huddle before the play. They dialed up the perfect blitz to encircle and cut off that run. And the reward is they get off the field.
And he's brought down after a nice run and some extra effort. Just a little short, but still a 9-yard pickup. That's going to bring up 2nd and 1. Another run for Henry. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
Turning to Henry on 3rd. That's the 1st and more inside the 45. And they'll finally get him down at the 37-yard line. It goes as a gain of 19 yards. And that's good for a Ravens 1st down. Changing it up here, Jackson. And this one won't be caught, but we got a flag here. Looked like there may have been some early contact before that throw arrived. So a little too much contact on the part of the defender, and the officials flag him for it. A fresh set of downs after that penalty. Here's 1st and 10. Running it after the penalty. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. 1st down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. They'll put one of the tight ends in motion. Out of the gun, here's Jackson. He's got it at the 5. And they're going to get this down to the 4 before being stopped. That's a gain of 13, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
Well, there's a time to be a little finessey with the football, put a little touch on, and then there's time to put your arm into it and let it eat. Throw it right through your target's chest. This one, well, that one right there was the latter. Smart to make a fastball zing in before anyone could undercut the curl route.
Receiver in motion, headed right. Henry has nothing on that run. They stand strong and stop him at the 2.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
Ball at the 2 here for 2nd and goal. Lamar back to throw. Gets it towards the end zone, but it's incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. And now it'll be 3rd and goal.
Yeah, that's one that's going to haunt him. There's just no question about it. A drop touchdown in the end zone. Now comes the mental toughness part of it. You got to flush that play quickly so you can make an impact later.
Buckle up, it's 3rd and goal. Lamar now from the gun. And he has the catch, gets both feet in, that's a touchdown! The Ravens go up 6-0 here in the 1st. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them, and that play happens so fast that it really is instincts on both sides.
Justin Tucker to try the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Ravens will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. Bucky Irving now to return. And he gets across the 30 before he's brought down. So the Buccaneer offense getting out there for their second try. They're coming off a fourth down try that didn't work in their favor. Let's see how that might affect the approach they take this time out. Godwin, the man in motion left. 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. Complete to his man, Sterling Shepard. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset. New set of downs for him from the 46. 1st and 10. It's a give to White. We'll cobble together a yard there. Coming in for the stop was Michael Pierce. We'll look at his numbers on the ground from last week here. They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Mayfield now from the gun. That's brought in by White. And he's going to be brought down after reaching the 43. It's a pickup of 9 yards. And that's good enough for a Tampa first down. They run the counter with White. And they've got him behind the line for a big loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Godwin sent in motion right. That's the end of our first quarter. 3 more to go still on Monday night. 7-0 is our score. More from Raymond James Stadium coming up after the break. Back for the start of quarter number 2. It's Buccaneers football as we begin. They have 2nd down behind the sticks. Finds him over the middle. And they make the stop. We're going to say it about the 37-yard line.
I feel so bad. I really do. And I don't mean this sarcastically, Kate. I feel bad for these guys in coverage. I don't know how you defend some of these players today because they get that drag route, they get one step inside of you. Well, there's very little you can do other than make the tackle.
He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. 12 yards on that play and a good call nets him the first.
Every time I see one of those angle routes, I think back to my day 1 install. Rookie minicamp in the NFL. Texas, angle route. 49ers of the 80s, they were making hay with it then, and the running back's still doing it to this day.
From the gun, a run for White. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
We know how hard explosive plays can be in the NFL, and so often they come via the air. What a great help for the offense to find an explosive play on the ground. Well done.
White on 1st and goal. And he made a bid for it. It's a good gain that's stopped down at the 3. It's a gain of 7, and that brings up 2nd and goal.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
And he's going to fight forward and get in. Touchdown! The Buccaneers start to fight back with their first points of this game. It's a Rachaad White touchdown. Those defensive coaches got to be hot, Brock. That was a touchdown that shouldn't have happened. That tackle should have ended it.
You try bringing down one of these NFL running backs in this, Kate.
Okay, touche, partner.
They see that goal line. They smell that goal line. It is no sure thing to try to bring down one of those horses before they find pay dirt.
On is Chase McLaughlin for the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Buccaneers tie this game 7-7. McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. Hill now to return it. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Ravens and this running back headed back out for a new series. And he's continuing a great start to the season. You can see currently pacing the NFL in rushing yards. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Henry gets it here to start the drive. Breaks the tackle, green grass ahead. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
It's got to be so demoralizing as a defense when you go up against a running back who just keeps those legs churning like a piston in an engine, and that effort's contagious. This entire offense is getting a boost when he busts those tackles.
And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. Pickup of 12 on that play. And that'll be 1st down, Baltimore. Shotgun snap to Jackson. Completed over the middle. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. That one intended for Mark Andrews. So 2nd down coming up. We give to Henry on the inside handoff. Jukes one defender, and he got it real close, but stopped just about a yard or so shy of that 1st down. And we haven't even hit the break yet, but already we're looking at this likely becoming a 100-yard game for him in the very near future, and expect more to follow after that. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
Some tough running from the leader of the offense right there. Didn't have a ton of room, but he made it work well enough to move those chains.
Running back sent in motion. On 1st down, Jackson. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete. And that throw doesn't lead to 6. And now it's 2nd down.
Well, that was all about the eyes. You've got to read the quarterback's eyes as a defender and make sure you know where that throw is going, and when it does, you got to react and knock it away. That is well done.
He's on the move. And he works this to the 15 before they make the stop. Not in a time crunch just yet, but they're hurrying to the line anyway. 3rd and 2. Here's Jackson. Complete beyond the marker. And they will take this into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens take a 2nd quarter lead. Mark Andrews with the touchdown. So, Brock, this offense starting to find its rhythm a bit as they finish things with a touchdown there to give them the lead.
And the key word there that you said is finish, because you want to have that mindset, even early in the game, that field goals aren't going to cut it. So that's great work to make sure they finish with 6 points.
Tucker able to tack on the extra point. And the Ravens break that tie and now lead by 7. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. Set to return this, Trey Palmer. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Buccaneers and Rachaad White ready to take over once again. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you gotta imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3 and out for this offense right here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building.
catch is made down the right sideline. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the first down. One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. Mayfield on 1st and 10. Hauled in by Godwin. And they get there to take him down right around the 41.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. They picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
2nd and 3. And his perfect start is over. And that's the first one of his throws to wind up incomplete.
I think that was a throw, Kate, that just came a little bit too late. What it did is it gave that defense time to come up and deliver a pop and knock the ball loose before he could secure it fully.
Out of the gun, White. And the struggles continue for him tonight. He's only able to get back to the line. No gain there, and that'll bring up 4th and a few.
It's 4th down.
We're at the 2-minute warning now from Raymond James. And it's the Buccaneers with a 4th and 3. The Buccaneers out and into punt formation. And he's got a good chance to really stick him deep his first time out. Only punted once in last week's loss, and he gets this one away.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They'll motion him out of the backfield. First down, here's Lamar. Couldn't connect across the middle. It's an incomplete pass.
Gosh, you could just almost feel his eyes up here, Kate, getting huge, right? He was envisioning the return, and he simply dropped it. You got to secure that pick before you think of anything else.
And disaster averted. He knocks away the deep ball, incomplete.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
Jackson now on 3rd. He has the first over the middle. Through the defense he goes. Room to burn. Hits the 20. He does it. Touchdown, Baltimore. The Ravens grow their lead just before halftime. Zay Flowers, the touchdown. That score was less about the throw, although it was good, partner, but it was more about getting it to somebody who knew exactly what to do with it.
Well, Kate, it's a good thing the touchdown shows up on both their stat sheets, because sometimes, well, it's quarterback who delivers, and sometimes it's the effort after the catch that really makes the magic happen.
Tucker adds the PAT. And the Ravens double their lead to 14. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. On the return, here's Palmer. In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Well, we've already seen some nice plays here, and we're going to see plenty more before this game ends. But you might be thinking, with plays like that, my guys' ratings should be better. Well, you're not alone. You got a chance to let the Madden ratings hotline know just what you're thinking. Give them a call, 1-844-MADDEN-1, and make your case for who should get a boost. Finds a seam down the middle, and they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. New set of downs for him at the 38. It's into the hands of Wright. And they take him down right along the 30. Timeout taken by the Buccaneers. They're first. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Shotgun snap for Mayfield. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's out of bounds right at that 25-yard line. A 5-yard gain on the play. And that's good for a Buccaneer first down. Baker throwing again. This one's taken in by Otten. And he gets this down inside the red zone before going out.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on the throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
Mayfield to throw again. It's inside the 10. And he goes out of bounds after getting them to the 7. This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
Baker now from the gun. Has it down close. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1. It's 2nd and goal. From the gun, Mayfield. On the move. And they will score. It's a Tampa touchdown. The Buccaneers make it a one-score game before halftime. Baker Mayfield, the touchdown. McLaughlin's extra point is up and good. And the Buccaneers chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Deontay Hardy to return. Finds some space. He's past the 30. And they'll start this drive in good position, a little shy of the 40. The visitors send Zay Flowers ready for another look on offense. And he finds himself across an important benchmark for yards this season after that last drive. He stayed pretty busy this season, and the numbers show just that. The Ravens in a very good field position as they come up 1st and 10. Jackson to throw it. That one doesn't find its man, incomplete. Nearly an interception on that play, so that brings up 2nd down.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Throwing again is Lamar. He puts some air under a deep throw to the left. And this won't be caught. Clock is going to stop. We've got 14 seconds to go. So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. He's loaded another one up. And that's going to fall incomplete. We're down to 9 seconds left.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
He'll throw it. That's incomplete on 4th down, and they'll turn over possession.
Hey, I am all for aggression. You get 4 downs, go for it. But I do have to wonder here, Kate, after being denied once again, is there going to be a trust level on that sidelines to go for it the next time they get this shot?
And he missed it. It's no good. And the deficit stays at 7.
He was hitting from that distance pregame. Heck, we were on the field watching it, and they were confident he could do so again. Just did not work out this time around.
He puts some air under this one, deep right. And that's going to be knocked away, incomplete. So we've reached the halftime break. It's the Ravens leading so far on the road. Now we'll keep it in state.
Each team had some big moments, and it would seem this could turn out to be a game where the last
Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our third quarter. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. On the return, here's Irving. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Buccaneers getting their offense set to go to begin the third. They'll try to get that ground game established better than they did in the opening half, Brock. See if they can attack that deficit. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Mayfield will look to throw. Dumped off to his running back. Juke the defender. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
To this day, I can still see the faces of the big guys in the huddle. When you call a screen like that, instead of them just getting knocked backwards, they get to be salesmen. They get to push those linemen downfield and then tee off and go hit somebody like they did right there.
Good little rip there. Looks like about 6. Stopped by one of the league's best tacklers, Roquan Smith. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4.
At the 47-yard line.
Mayfield now from the gun. A quick throw is swatted away, incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin on that play. And now they need to get 4 on 3rd down. A tight end in motion now. 3rd and short, Mayfield. Forced out to his right. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
Wow, it has been such a good day offensively for the guys up front. That's actually the first sack by this defense. And now comes the real question mark. Will it lead to more, or will this offense learn a lesson and get back to the rhythm they've been in protecting?
The Ravens and Derrick Henry making their way back out on offense. And he's been a frequent visitor to the end zone over the first couple of months of this season. Right now actually leading the league in rushing touchdowns. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Pressure coming, it's Jackson. Fits it through the middle. And he flips the field for them before being taken down. Following that completion, remember the O-line looks to be in some pain. They're headed out to take a look at him now. First and 10 after that last highlights. They're at the 30. Lamar now from the gun. Connects with Bateman. And they will take this into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens push their lead further to start the half. I should know this by now, Brock. I don't know if you're a Broadway guy, but there's a lot of names that belong on the playbill for this lead we've got here, but his name belongs on the marquee as he brings in his 2nd touchdown grab.
Yeah, a bunch of contributors all throughout this roster. No, not a Broadway guy. And with 2 scores now, it's what, a 2-score game?
Yep.
Easy to see he's been one of the key actors throughout.
Appreciate the honesty. Tucker on for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Ravens double their lead to 14.
Buccaneers 14. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. On the return, here's Irving. This return makes it up to the 25. The Buccaneers back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. And his performance has ailed against what has been a very stout defensive front. This hasn't been a contest to stack up there among his better showings, partner. They've made it real difficult to find any holes to hit, and there's been absolutely no space for him to work with. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Here's Baker to throw. Short pass brought in. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. It's a pickup of 11. And that's good enough for a Tampa 1st down.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
1st down, ball at the 36. Now here's Mayfield. Got Evans, it's complete. This is ahead for about 5. That's Odafe Owe with a stop. Offense to the line for 2nd down. Receiver in motion going left. Here's 2nd and 5. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. And it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up.
You know, he might complete 99 out of 100 of those short, simple routes to the tight ends. Even the shortest and simplest of throws, well, it's due to end up in a drop at some point.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. Sending a receiver left. Shotgun now on 3rd down. And he brings this one in, but does so out of bounds. That throw just took him too close to the boundary. We've got 4th down.
The best of the best, they just have this intuition, Kate. They know where the boundary is without looking. This receiver's not quite at that level yet. He lost track of where he was, and he brought it in, but out of bounds.
Tampa Bay in punt formation now. It'll be Jake Camarda doing the honors. Getting about 50 yards of boots so far, and here's another quality effort. That one hits at the 6, but can't check up. It gets into the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens and Lamar Jackson ready to go again on offense. And our team in the truck putting these highlights together, well, they certainly had plenty of touchdowns to choose from. 4 of them, actually. Though the way he's been playing, Brock, you cannot count on him being done reaching that end zone just yet. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. From the gun, a run for Henry. He's only going to manage to get back to the line. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka gets there to take him down. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10. Shotgun snap to Jackson. Gets this to Bateman. They rip off a huge chunk of field as the downs reset. This game has already been a good one for him, Brock. And hey, there's still time. He could add on even more.
And you just feel his aggressive mindset all game long. As long as there's time left, he's going to want to keep on firing and turn a good performance into a great one.
And they were able to grind him to a halt after a pickup of 4. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Trying down the middle with Henry. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Upping the tempo with some hurry-up offense. Henry's going to try to pick it up. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9. A nice gain of 8 there, and it brings them to 1st and goal.
You love a huddle? Kate, you really do. You love a huddle full of guys like this who just know how to keep the drive moving forward. There's some trust there that he's going to get the job done, and he's going to get another shot, I would guess, down the line.
First down, and they go right back to him. And he'll go down shy of the end zone. They mark him at the 4. Offense working quickly.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and goal.
Henry. Can't fight past that line. They stop him at the 3. The dose of the hurry-up offense here. Jackson has it, 3rd and goal. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Baltimore. The Ravens stretch their lead to a 3-score advantage. Mark Andrews with the touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. When you reach the status that he has around the league, Brock, well, we all at this point expect him to be making plays like this when he's targeted down near the end zone.
Yeah, I think the best thing I can say about this dude is he makes it look easy a lot of the time. And this game, trust me, is never easy. It speaks to how well he plays this position.
14. Justin Tucker, the kickoff for Baltimore.
Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. On the return, here's Irving. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. Time for us to get another look at this Tampa Bay offense. They're down 21 now after that last score and in need of a comeback as we work through this game. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Finds the in route, complete. Has some daylight through the 40. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 22 on that one. And that's good for a Buccaneer 1st down.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. Dump off caught by his back. And he'll be brought down a step or 2 shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down.
At their 48-yard line.
From the 48. Has him on the quick hitter. And a solid gain there. Gets him across the 45 before he goes out. A 9-yard gain and good for a 1st down.
I know I could sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
1st down, here's Baker. That's completed right side. And in, touchdown Tampa Bay! The Buccaneers shave some off the deficit late in the quarter. That is a touchdown to one of their prime receiving targets.
This is really what you pay your skill guys for. You know, I had an old coordinator say, it's my job to get you a one-on-one. It's your job to go out and win it with a touchdown.
McLaughlin, attack on the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Buccaneers get it back to a 14-point game. McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. Hardy on the return. This return makes it up to the 25. Now the Ravens all set for another possession. And all the touchdowns are sure going to catch some eyes around the league. But sure not unexpected for those of us who saw how well he was throwing it back when he got his first couple of scores.
Yeah, and if anything, he's only continued to improve and play better as this defense tried and failed.
They're out and set, 1st and 10. Here's Lamar. And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done. Incomplete.
You know, ball skills are not just a selling point for receivers entering the draft. Teams want defenders, especially in this day and age of the passing game, who can make plays on the ball too, especially on these deeper throws. He doesn't swat that one away. We could be looking at a huge gain.
That one's cut along the left sideline. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. Here's Henry. Only one quarter remains in our final game of the week. That's the end of the third. This one not out of reach quite yet, but it is a two-score game to begin the fourth. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Now a run with Henry. And they make the stop. We're going to say at about the 37-yard line. Jackson getting his guys in the hurry up.
An 8-yard pickup. And the Ravens first down.
They'll throw on first. Sheds off a rusher. Chased out to his right. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with first and goal. They'll run here with Henry. Takes it in for the Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens make it a three-score game in the fourth. Derrick Henry, the touchdown. They kept it on the ground as opposed to airing it out, and that time, well, Brock, the ground game paid off.
Well, these great rushing attacks down here that could score rushing touchdowns, it takes the whole party getting involved. Yeah, the burst of the running back was tremendous. How about the launch of his blockers right off the line of scrimmage? That's a touchdown the entire way, and it took the entire group offensively.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. On the return, here's Palmer. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Now the Buccaneers set to take the field. They really had the passing game clicking on that last touchdown drive, partner. We'll see if they stick with that or if they mix things up a bit on this series. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. From the gun, Mayfield. Evans brings in the slant. And they get to him and touch him down.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
Options are open here. It's 2nd and inches. From the 38. Finds him over the middle. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down. That play goes for 8 yards, and it keeps this drive moving.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Baker now from the gun. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. It arrived as the ball did to break things up. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Mayfield to throw again. That's going to be caught by Evans. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that's good enough for a Tampa 1st down.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Baker throwing again. It's into the hands of White. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And that's good for a Buccaneer first down. Mayfield now from the gun. Catch is made in close. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A second touchdown through the air for him, Brock, and independent of the game situation, we both know he's going to be happy to leave the field with 2 of them in one game.
1 touchdown, you just might be right time, right place, but 2 touchdowns in a game is always about the preparation. The separations and the preparation. It's doing that work on the practice field and knowing before the game that when my number's called, I'm going to be there to deliver.
McLaughlin, attack on the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Buccaneers get it back to a 14-point game. McLaughlin has it on the tee, and he's ready to send this flying. Hardy on the return. His return gets him to the 32-yard line before he's taken down. The visitors ready for their next series, led out on offense by their quarterback. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. The drive begins with Henry. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
Hey, look, Kate, you can't just ask one tackler to go mano-a-mano and stop this guy. You got to have the cavalry coming. One guy makes a hit, the others are there to clean up and pile on because one-on-one, he's going to run right through you.
They send the tight end in motion left. Going to the ground again on first. And he won't get anything there. Several defenders nearby to hold him up. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10.
Made it all look so simple, didn't he? That linebacker sorting right through the traffic, finding the runner. That's instincts come to life.
They kick the running back in motion. 2nd and 10 now. This is caught by Isaiah Likely. And he'll go out of bounds close to that 35-yard line. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got first down.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Out of the gun, Henry. And he'll get it down to the 24-yard line. And with that run, he's reached the coveted mark for a back in a single campaign. This is officially a 1,000-yard season on the ground. Up to the line, and they're set. 1st and 10. Running once more with Henry. Escapes a defender. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal. Trying to run with Henry. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards.
Okay, all right. There's a little progress on 1st and goal. You keep it safe, you push a little closer, and now you're set up for what you want to do on 2nd down.
once more. Here's Henry. And he gets in. Touchdown. The Ravens have likely locked up the win right there. Derrick Henry, the touchdown. Well, we all knew what was coming when they got into that goal line formation, didn't we, Brock? And they just pound the rock in for an old-school touchdown.
I just sometimes love that stuff. Nothing fancy, nothing cute. Here's our formation. You know we're running right at you, and we challenge you to stop us, and you can't.
That's no good. The veteran mishits one rather surprisingly, and they leave a point after on the table. He'll probably still mentally kicking himself after that missed point after. He can take a little frustration out here as he kicks this away. On the return, here's Palmer. Some good work on that return. Brock gets this up to the 33. Tampa Bay ready to head out to the field. And we've seen some matching touchdowns as of late, so the scoring coming at a good clip, Brock. Let's see if they can keep this up.
You know what's fun, Kate? After all of these years, I have friends that are offensive guys and friends that are defensive guys. And my friends watching this one offensively love it. The defensive guys, they're climbing up their walls.
No luck finding his receiver that time. So it's second down coming up.
You know, that was a play, Kate, right there where you need to buy your receivers just enough time to get open along their routes, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit him with the throw. Time? Well, that's not what he had. O-line couldn't hold up, and it forces the incompletion.
Finds his man. It's Godwin. And this one does not go far. Offense up to the line fast. Third down. Here's Mayfield. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton with the pick. And the Ravens will take over as he records his first interception of our season. Got it off that interception, Brock. Let's see if they can pay that off with points. Here's first and goal. Going with King Henry here. Has the Baltimore touchdown. The Ravens keep adding to that fourth quarter lead. Derrick Henry, the touchdown. His third of the game on the ground. Well, Brock, you know this better than most. In baseball, it's 3 strikes and you're out. I know you experienced that a lot, but on the gridiron, you're feeling pretty happy, right? If you can strike the end zone 3 times in one game.
Yeah, I'd rather go hockey and soccer. That's just the positive guy in me. They call that a hat trick. It's worth celebrating. And yeah, they should celebrate this effort.
That one right down the middle. And the Ravens grow their lead yet again. Now Tucker on to handle the kickoff. On the return, here's Palmer. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. Here come the Bucs on offense now. They are coming off their first interception of the game. This drive now a chance to rebuild some confidence. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air. And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up. We've hit the 2-minute warning here in Tampa. Buccaneers trying to make it look a little nicer on that scoreboard. Let's see what they dial up on a 2nd and very long. Trying again following the sack. Completed to his running back. Decent gain here, but short of the first.
Rhythm. You hear me talk about rhythm a lot. Whether it's a golf swing, a baseball swing, heck, even a bowler gets himself into rhythm. And I'm just telling you, Kate, from experience, these little throws to running backs, it's one of the best things to get your offense into rhythm and a nice little gain on top of it.
And that will not be enough for a first down.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, and you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Mayfield on 1st and 10. Got his target, it's Otten. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on first down. Textbook. It sets up second and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
2nd and 4. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12. So the Ravens will fly home with the win. And it was a game for fans of high-scoring football, wasn't it? I know Brock was enjoying seeing both of these offenses work, and really not a lot to dislike from either group. Just one side working at a slightly better clip than the other. That was the difference in the win. So that'll do it for this one. With Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. The Ravens are your winners. As with that, we sign off from Tampa.